Hello everyone, this is Meghna and today I am going to explain you about requirements elicitation and fact-finding techniques. So first, what is requirements elicitation? It means to gather the requirements from different perspectives to understand the customer needs. The main goal of the requirement elicitation are to identify the different parties involved in the project and to identify and gather the requirements and then write them as their original form and integrate the requirements. The original requirements may be inconsistent, ambiguous, incomplete, or infeasible for the business. Therefore, the system analyst involves domain experts, software engineers, clients, vendors, sponsors, end users, or the other stakeholders and follow standards and guidelines to elicit requirements. Requirement elicitation is the process of gathering and identifying the requirements in a software system. Requirement elicitation involves the identification, collection, analysis, and refinement of the requirements of a software system. It is a critical part of the software development cycle and is typically performed at the beginning of the project. Requirement elicitation is the most difficult, most error prone, and most communication intensive software development. It can be successful only through an effective customer developer partnership. Developers need to know what the users really need. To the fact-finding techniques, these are also known as information gathering tools, are used to discover the information pertaining to system development. There are several techniques for finding facts from the stakeholders. The system analyst uses the appropriate techniques depending upon the nature of the project to find problems, opportunities, and directives in the proposed system. Some of the widely used techniques are interviewing, questionnaires, joint application development, on-site observation, prototyping, viewpoints, and review records. Now let us discuss about each of these techniques. The first one is interviewing. Interview involves eliciting requirements through face-to-face interaction with individuals or some group of people. Interviews are conducted with clients, end users, stakeholders, domain experts that are associated with the project. They are conducted to gather facts, verify and clarify facts, identify the requirements, and determine their ideas and opinions. The interview technique encourages the participation of stakeholders in the project. Also, it is a time-consuming technique. There are two types of interviewing techniques, that are unstructured interview and structured interview. The next one is questionnaires. Questionnaires are used to collect and record large amount of qualitative as well as quantitative data from a number of people. The system analyst prepares a series of questions in a logical manner, supplemented by multiple choice answers and instructions for filling the questionnaires. The system analyst designs questionnaires that aim at maintaining consistent outcomes to derive correct facts and to measure the satisfaction of customers about the product and services. These can be distributed via mail. The next one is JAD, that is Joint Applications Development. JAD is a structured group meeting just like a workshop where the customer, designer and other experts meet together for the purpose of identifying and understanding the problems to define the requirements. The JAD session had a predefined agenda and purpose. The members of the group stay in the session until the agenda is completed. It includes various participants with their well-defined roles such as sponsors, end users, managers, IT staff, designers, etc. Brainstorming and focus group techniques are used for JAD. Brainstorming is an effective technology to generate ideas in short duration. The focus group technique involves a small group of people to take spontaneous occurrences. People feel less stressed as compared to brainstorming. The next one is on-site observation. It is an effective technique for data collection where the system analyst personally visits the client-side organization, observes the functioning of the system, and understands the flow of documents and the users of the system, etc. The system analyst plays a role of an information seeker where he or she notices the required information and unwanted things as well. However, user feels uncomfortable if someone observes their work. Sometimes the system analyst may interrupt the users to understand the work. Coming to the prototyping technique, it is helpful in situations where it is difficult to discover and understand the requirements and where early feedback from the customer is needed. In this approach, an iterative process is carried out with the involvement of the designer and the users. An initial version of the final product called prototype is developed and that can give clues to the client to provide and think on additional requirements. The initial version will be changed and a new version will be developed. Prototyping can be costly if it is repeated many times. And now the viewpoints. It is the way of structuring requirements to represent the perspective of different stakeholders, as there is no single correct way to analyze the system requirements. Stakeholders may be classified under different viewpoints such as direct, indirect and domain. Direct means who directly interacts with the system, and indirect means who indirectly interacts with the system, and domain means represent the domain standards and constraints. Viewpoints are generally identified from various people. The last one is reviewing records. Reviewing the existing documents is a good way of gathering documents or requirements. Existing documents may help to verify facts and information from other sources. The information related to the system is found in the documents such as manuals, newspapers, magazines, journals, etc. These help to reduce the discrepancies and redundancies. Reviewing the existing documentation to beneficial to new employees or consultants working on the project. And this is all about the requirements elicitation and fact finding techniques. Thank you.